everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please excuse the fact that I have no lipstick on, but I'm going to do some lip swatches at the end of this video for you. Today I've got tons of makeup on my face and I'm testing out so many new products. Most of everything that I have on my face is new, and it just occurred to me that I've been doing quite a bit of shopping recently, as you may have realised from my previous haul videos. It's becoming a serious problem. But last weekend I went into Selfridges and I didn't do tons of shopping, I didn't go crazy. I actually only really went in search of NYX. Now, NYX used to be sold in the UK online and they shut their website down, and now they've come back to the UK, but I think they only sell online through Boots and Selfridges. But because I prefer swatching things in person, I decided to actually go into Selfridges because I've heard that they have a little stand in there, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that they had a double stand of makeup. Unfortunately, most of the bits were sold out, or most of the good bits, should I say. I did have a little list on my phone and I asked on Snapchat if anybody had any recommendations. So there were a couple of extra bits that may have made their way into my basket, but of course I did swatch everything. But I think I got a select few bits. The first thing that I picked up is this eyebrow gel. I picked it up in the shade Espresso and I put it on the very next day, and I've got it on my brows today. I absolutely love this. It's a touch darker than the Anastasia Beverly Hills dip brow that I use in the shade dark brown, but I actually prefer it. I really like this product. It's a slightly wetter consistency than the Anastasia, but I don't know if that's because my dip brow is actually running out, so it's drying up ever so slightly. However, I do prefer the formula of this NYX product because it is slightly wetter, but that just means I use less product. It glides through my eyebrow hairs really easily, and it just doesn't look like I've tattooed on my brows or just caked the product on there. They still look semi-natural, although I quite like that Instagram brow, or that fake brow if you like. I do still try to make the front parts of my brows a little bit more natural and just have less product on them and just have some of the natural hairs showing through. Of course, the packaging is completely different on this. It's not very travel friendly, but then having said that, you know, who does their brows on the go anyway? You wouldn't really be sat on a train squeezing this product out onto the back of your hand, but I really like it, and it's a bargain for £5.50. Another product from their range that I was dying to try out was their Conceal, Correct and Contour palette. This is very similar to the palette that MAC do, but of course it's tons cheaper. This was only £10, I believe. They have it in 3 different shades. I think they have light, medium and deep. I purely wanted to try this because of the corrector. It doesn't look, well, it didn't look to me as bright as the LA Girl corrector in orange, which is just like a neon orange, and it just doesn't work for me whatsoever. So I did pick up deep, knowing that I wouldn't really be able to use the concealers or the highlight in this palette, but for £10 you can't really go wrong. However, as you can see, it is a neon orange. It is just so bright, it's so creamy and so pigmented, but not in a good way. It's so creamy and thick that it just drags the skin under my eyes. It feels really cakey. It doesn't sit well on the skin at all. I tried to blend it out. I used a beauty blender type sponge to just get rid of some of the excess product. I then went in with the concealer on the top row on the right hand side because that was the closest match to my concealer. That didn't work at all. Then I went in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NW35. That didn't work either, so then I went in with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer and some of my foundation just to get rid of that orange outline because I really don't like that. And this is a problem that I do find with most drugstore correctors, is that they're just so orange, and I honestly just don't know how people make them work. And also, as you can see, the highlight shade almost matches my skin, so I couldn't exactly get away with that. In terms of the corrector and the concealers, they just don't work for me. However, the contour shade in this palette really did scare me at first because I just feel this is way too dark for my skin, but I actually really like it. I just used the tiniest amount because I know how pigmented it is, and I just blended it out, and I think it works. It's not too orange. It is something that I would save for the evening. It's not really something that I would call a daytime look. But yeah, the contour's great. I just wouldn't really buy the whole palette just for one shade. I picked up 2 of the NYX Liquid Suede Cream lipsticks. This is in the shade Stone Fox, and this one is called Sway. I haven't tried this on. I really like, let's call them alternative colours. Although I do live in nudes most of the time, as I'm sure you've gathered, I like to be a little bit different. I like to be a bit edgy, and I just really liked these. They caught my eye. I did try this on briefly, and I noticed that it's pretty long lasting. It does dry matte, and although it's a matte finish, I've noticed that your lips don't feel dry, and they stay really hydrated, and they feel moisturised, which is a really nice feeling, and it's just so comfortable on the lips. I think that the reason they stay really hydrated is because both of these contain avocado oil, olive oil and glycerin. So they're both really great products, and I'm going to show you some swatches now. Okay, don't judge me. I appreciate that I've done the worst application ever, but this is the one thing that I don't like about the formula of this. It's so wet and it smudges really easily. It takes ages to dry. Like, it's still not dry on my lips. And I've had it on for about a minute, I would say, and because it smudges so easily and it's so wet, it's just so messy. But personally, I love the shade of this. I know that it won't be to everybody's liking, but leave me a comment down below and just let me know what you think. I much prefer it to that horrendous blue lipstick that I wore at BeautyCon last year. You know, sometimes you just have that moment where you just look back and you think, what on earth was I thinking? That was me in that blue lipstick, but it hasn't put me off blue lipstick, just not that shade. But I will now swatch this one for you. This is the shade Sway. Okay, I can't believe I'm on camera with this on. Kind of wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting more purple, less white. I personally now think that I look very ill. It does look a bit darker in the packaging. I'm sure I swatched it in the shop. Yeah, I do think that I'll definitely have to mix this or layer it over MAC Heroin. But I'm kind of getting that MAC, what was that Barbie pink? That awful shade that barely looks good on anybody. There was a MAC lipstick that loads of people loved, and it was just quite unflattering. I'm kind of getting that vibe right now. MAC Saint Germain, that was the lips. Oh, I just can't. Yeah. There was no way that I could have walked out without picking up two of their soft matte lip creams. I picked up the shades London and Copenhagen. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone because I just don't wear many deeper colours, but I just love them on other people, and I just keep buying them in the hope that I'll like them on me someday. But I haven't tried this one yet. These are a lovely formula. They feel like a really soft mousse, and they dry matte, but they apply like a cream. Like it's really, if you haven't tried these, they're really different. It smells really nice too, and it's really easy to apply. It's got a doe foot applicator, which is great. If you don't like liquid lipsticks, it's almost like the perfect liquid lipstick formula because it's not too wet, it feels really soft, really smooth. I'm always attracted to shades that are just too pale for my skin, and this is okay, it's borderline, but it is a tiny bit pale, I think. And because my lips are quite pigmented, I can see that the application's quite sheer, so I could potentially layer something a bit darker underneath it, but I really like how this sits on the lips. It's so comfortable. It's just a beautiful formula. I can definitely see what all the hype was about. And lastly, this is the shade Copenhagen. It's not quite how I imagined it to be, but I do like it. I thought it was a bit more plummy. I think the problem is, again, I've got terrible application, but when I wear a bold colour, it just enhances all of my lip imperfections, if you like, because my lips aren't symmetrical, and I always feel the need to overdraw, and it just looks terrible, especially because it's a bold colour. You can just see it a lot more than when it's a nude. But definitely leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. If you have a similar skin tone to mine and you've tried any of the soft matte lip creams, then please let me know what your favourite shades are, because I love the formula of these and I will definitely be buying some more. I just don't trust myself to go on my own judgment. I really hope you enjoyed this different style of video from me. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up, but please do hit that subscribe button just so that you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!